You Orns. Greetings, fellow Watford fans. Omar here, and it's time for another edition of the You Orns 10-minute take on Watford nil, Queen's Park Rangers nil. Now, look, a lot of Watford fans come away rightfully and understandably frustrated by this result. But I can tell you that I am not at all surprised by the result. And I had said in the Friday Focus that Queen's Park Rangers were going to give Watford a lot of trouble and that they would be difficult to break down. And I proved to be correct because Queen's Park Rangers, for a number of minutes in this game, mostly in the first half, but often also in the second half, gave Watford all they could handle. And Queen's Park Rangers should probably have gone on and won this contest. There was a handball that wasn't given. It was clear that Ryan Porteous handballed it in front of the rookery, no question about it. And how Queen's Park Rangers did not score with open goals and hitting the post and hitting the crossbar, it's just beyond me. So Daniel Batman has a lot to do with that as well because his goalkeeping, I thought, was very, very good yesterday. Again, he's going from strength to strength now. He's got two really good goalkeeping performances. The last two games that Watford have played have been clean sheets. In fact, the last four at the Vic have been clean sheets, but the last two games have been clean sheets. They've both come at home, obviously, but the thing is, inside of the last 6 days, Daniel Batman's done a very good job in his position as goalkeeper. I saw the same kind of confidence that he showed last Tuesday against Bristol City. He was much more commanding, much more authoritative in his area, and much more decisive about when to come for the ball and when not to, and when, to stay on his line. He made some really good saves yesterday against a Queen's Park Rangers side who come off of a 2-0 win at Cardiff just a few days before that. And you can see that they are not, as I said in the Friday Focus, a team that their position represents in the table because they are much better than what the table says they are at the minute. I don't know again how QPR did not score in this game, but Watford, for all their possession and all their control seemingly over this game, did not put that hammer blow across for themselves at home at the Vic. And I think that's where a lot of Watford fans are disappointed. It's not just that QPR are in the bottom two, but it's that Watford, with all the possession, did not find a way at home to unlock this QPR side. There were one or two chances for Watford, but the bottom line is, aside from Imran Luz's spectacular free kick in the 77th minute of the game, there really wasn't anything that Watford could write home about. That free kick that Luza took, and Luza has enjoyed a resurgence now under Tom Cleverley. That free kick hit the underside of the bar, but somehow did not stay in and did not go across the whole of the line completely. And so it went in and out of the goal. And that was really the difference between winning and getting the point that Watford got yesterday. But look, this is what we expect now as Watford fans. We expect to get these results, not just at home, but anywhere we play now, because there's a growing confidence. The team is cohesing together. There is a belief. And they're also playing for the manager, Tom Cleverley, who now, in his stead as Watford manager, since being called that last season and officially named that, the interim tag taken off, Tom Cleverley has gone 13 consecutive at the Vic, unbeaten. And that is a very stellar record. Watford continuing to remain undefeated at home as we're in December now. And so Watford's next home game will be West Bromwich Albion, I believe, in a couple of weeks' time. But Watford have the small matter of a visit to Cardiff coming up this week, and then, of course, to Hull the following week. But Watford, I thought yesterday, just lacked a little bit of punch in their attack. That has been a problem. There's been a situation or two, shall we say, where goals have been tough to come by since the 6 goals scored at Wednesday a few weeks ago. Watford have not scored more than two in any game. So it's been a struggle, certainly in front of goal. And I think one of the reasons why it's been a struggle in front of goal is not just because Bio misses some really makeable opportunities and some sitters, is because also, in addition to that, that Watford hesitate when they're in front of goal. When we go forward, we hesitate. We do not take that first shot that's on. We wait, we pass it a couple more times, and by the time we do, when we're coming out of the break and the counter attack, What happens is that we allow defenders of the opposition to get themselves back behind the ball. And so when we're in open play, we have to have the confidence to be more clinical and more incisive and more decisive to get the ball off first time out of the feet, make the keeper make a save, trouble that defense, have the runners flood forward because you never know what can happen. If a goalkeeper doesn't hold onto the ball, there's a loose ball that can be pounced on. But Watford are not attacking the goal the way they need to attack it. And I think that when they do go forward, they need to take that first shot that's on, even if it's a shot that goes over the bar, and there were a couple of them yesterday, but it wasn't in a counter-attacking position. It was very much in a situation where Watford would have the ball, but they would not put the ball in the box, and then they would wait and overpass. What we're guilty of at the minute, in fact, what we've been guilty of a lot of these games this season, is overpassing, passing when it's not necessary to pass, and when the outlet player on the left or the right hand side has the ball, and there aren't any runners. Don't wait for the runners. Flood the box. Just absolutely just take the shot from where you are. Force the goalkeeper to do something. Make that defense think a little bit. Make them do something. But don't wait for six defenders, six players of the opposition to get behind the ball. That's the problem, I think. I think that's one of the key reasons why we've not seen a lot more Watford goals in these games. Now, look, I do think that the striker situation, yeah, there needs to be a new striker, an additional striker, but I don't think that that's going to remedy this problem. I think what this is all about, too, is the positional attitude of attacking players. When you are going forward in a counter-attacking situation, especially, but in any situation, but especially when you've got a counter-attack going and you're not going to have them numbers anyway, what I think is incredibly important is to get that shot off. You never know. It might bounce off a defender, it might bounce off the goalkeeper, he might parry it, and then you've got runners coming in by then who can pounce on a loose ball. So what I would like to see Watford do is create more scoring opportunities by being more aggressive, by being more of a shot taker and a risk taker. Take the shot, even if it goes to Rosette. Take the shot. Just put some pressure on their goal. Have a shot at goal. You never know. You miss 100% of the shots that you do not take. And so Watford, I think, need to keep shooting at the target, and they need to take those shots on even when there aren't any runners. Take the shot on when you're on the counter. Don't wait, because when you wait, you're going to allow the opposition to flood the box and get back behind the ball, and then the opportunity is gone. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to be static, because what happens there is that you're forced to remain static because you become static. When you have them runners running back behind the ball as the defenders, they get behind the ball and then the play slows down and you've lost your opportunity. So what Watford must do going forward now in these games, they need to be able to get the shot off. I know I've repeated that, but they need to do that. Get it off immediately. Take that shot. Make that goalkeeper work. Make that defense work. I think that's what they've got to do. But aside from all of that, I think Watford are in the right place. Top six going into the game against Cardiff. These lads have some confidence about them. And I think there's still lots to learn. Don't get me wrong. There's still lots to learn. I've talked about the attacking that needs to improve. But again, you can bring another striker in here. But if they don't do the fundamentals when they go forward, then you're going to see the same problem no matter who is striking, who is your striker in this team. Bio obviously leads the team in scoring. I think he's now gone the last two games without scoring now, so it's now 6 goals and 6 for him. But the bottom line is that Watford just have to have that siege mentality going forward. The other thing I'd say finally about Watford is that the defending has improved. The types of goals we're giving up is different. We're not giving away some really poor goals. We're giving away goals in the case of the Plymouth match, I think, that are really good efforts from their players. So no problem there. And the other thing is that Watford now are on a good run. The manager's been very good. The cohesion and the teamwork, as I've said, is very good. And I think that the defending has been particularly good. And that helps the goalkeeper too. And the goalkeeper's been very good too. So Daniel Batman is doing very good things at the minute. And so he's going to improve. The whole team will improve. And these games you learn much more from than you do a 6-2 at Wednesday when you win comfortably. You don't learn anything from that game, really. You may tweak some things and brush up some things. But what you really learn from is games like Watford v QPR, games like Plymouth, excuse me, well, yeah, games like Plymouth versus Watford. Those are the games that we learn from more because, of course, you didn't win them games. You made mistakes here and you made mistakes there. You weren't clinical enough in some of these games. But you learn from this, and all of these games provide a lesson. And Watford, I think, have a number of lessons that they can learn, but it's to their advantage because, again, if you can get draws in games like Plymouth, even though you should have won it, if you could get draws in games like QPR, even in this situation where you should perhaps have lost the game, you have to take something out of that. And when you're going well, you're going to get breaks. I mean, when you're going well as a team, you're going to get the breaks. As I said, if Watford hadn't been going well, Ryan Porteous would have been booked for the handball and it would have been a penalty. And, the game before that against Bristol City, if we were not going well, Sierrata would have been sent off in that game. So this is what's going on at the minute. Watford have to keep riding what they're doing and, of course, improve the away form and be more consistent away. So, we've won a few games away, maybe two games away from home, and we've obviously drawn a couple of one away from home against Plymouth. So, Watford now in a good place, but of course, there's always more to learn. And for me, yesterday's nil-nil draw was more of a glass half full than a glass half empty. This has been the You Orns 10-minute take.